Hello everyone, it's Mich here and welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Whether you're new or returning, I just appreciate that you're here and hope you will continue to pop by. Today I will be doing another page, another day in the Junk Journal July 2024. The challenge that I'm doing is set by Meg Journals, where she has set a prompt, and then I've been doing an affirmation for each day as well. So today the prompt is Petal, as in a flower petal, and my affirmation is around passion. So if you haven't tuned in, I have a tutorial for each page that I've done so far in the journal. Let's tack that down. The glue's come up a bit. Right, so here we are. So with my affirmation is I have the energy and passion to make my thoughts reality. And what I've done this time is I've glued them onto some washi tape. So I've put them on a glass mat so I can get them off. And so when I was thinking about Petal, I wanted to do something with my gel print, my jelly plate. And I'm never happy with the gel prints that I do. I just don't know why. I just never think that they turn out. So what I then did was I went to some coffee dyed paper that I had actually bought off of Amazon, and I then did my kind of flower. So the other thing that I did is I went out to my garden and I picked some of my petunias, the mini petunias, just some leaves from my rose bush, and I think this leaf came from, not exactly sure. Oh, this came from one of my hydrangeas, as well as that, some of my little rose leaves, etc. So I just kind of went out and took a little plastic container and just cut a few things. And so when I initially put my paint down on my jelly pad, then I put the leaves down, then I put this over top of it, pull it off, but the leaves and stuff are still, the petals and stuff are still on the jelly plate. So then I took some of my own coffee dyed paper, and then I stamped, and then I pulled this print off, which I do like. So I think I do like that. So when I pulled that off, I then thought, well, what am I going to do with it? Oh, I'll make an envelope. So to make my envelope, and this is just a rough envelope. If you have an envelope maker, or I can't even think today, a scoreboard, then you can definitely make them a lot better than this. But if you have a square piece of paper and you don't have anything else, you can make a rough envelope by just folding it diagonally and then folding it again, but not actually pushing on the crease. Just pinch there, and that leaves a mark. So then we're just going to take one of the sides, one of the points, and meet where the crosshairs are, and fold that. Turn it around, do the other side. Okay. And then what I sometimes do is just put a ruler across here, because I don't want to fold this top bit yet, so that's going to be my top. And then I want to take this bottom fold, this bottom point, and line up your edges so that they are square with the flush with the outside, and then you just fold. Okay, and then that should be your center point. I don't fold this initially because I overlap my fold when I'm finished. So then we're going to bring this, we're going to unfold it. We're going to take this point up to the center there, so it looks like that. Then we're going to take one of our sides, and we're going to take this side edge here and make sure it's flush with that fold that we just did, that bottom fold that runs along there. Okay. And we'll do that to both sides. And we get something like this. Okay, and at this point, if you've got glue, you can just glue it. Okay, but if you don't have glue, what you can do is you can then fiddle with this, and sometimes it turns out the way you want it, and sometimes it doesn't. And make a little tongue. You're just pushing down your fold there, and then pulling that. It is a bit fiddly to get that straight up and down, and it doesn't look like it's straight, but because what this does, and you're not going to see it, so it doesn't matter what that looks like, but what you then can do is you can tuck your bits in there, say you didn't have glue, or if you had a letter or something that you wanted to keep and make an envelope, this would be perfect, because then you wouldn't have to glue it. You could just undo it and you could read your whole letter. But yeah, so then the reason I don't fold this initially is because I then come down about 1/8 of an inch on both sides, so that I've got a little bit of an overlap at the bottom there. Okay, and then that's just how you make an envelope, except you want it to be relatively even. Like so, yeah. Okay, so that's just a quick way to make an envelope. So that's what I did with this one. So then I was thinking, okay, so what am I going to do now? So then I went to a book that I actually got at the thrift store the other day, and it was I actually left it out on the kitchen table, but it was a book about herbs, and it had a lot of, this was from I think it was 1979, or maybe it was 1987. It's quite old. Well, oldish. It's not quite old. 87, I always think of that as like last year. But yeah, so it had these really nice floral patterns, panels. So I cut out a few that I liked, because I thought that I would make a card to go into my envelope, and I just want to double check that it fits. Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of decorate the outside of the card. So I'm just going to put some of this graph paper, which I absolutely love this graph paper. Just going to put that kind of halfway across, I guess, and just wrap it around the back. Kind of like that. And then I cut out some of the violets that I thought would look cute on the cover there. And in the thing was a little poem too by William Wordsworth. And I like Wordsworth. And I thought that we could put this on the front of our little card, which I thought would be cute. Okay, so this will probably, I think that'll probably go like there. So I'll put my flower kind of like there. The other thing I did with my flower is after I cut it out, I went along the edge. I got some glue on the top of there. With one of my brush markers. So I took, there we go. I took my purple, one of my alcohol markers, and you can kind of see the outline there. Maybe you can't in the video, and I went around the purple parts. I went with purple, and the green parts I went with green. So I just used the Artist Loft, and this one here is, it's royal purple, and this one here is spearmint green. And I just kind of went along the edge. And with the green, actually, there was bits of the leaf that were kind of white, so I just actually colored in. I used my marker to color it in. Okay, and then let's get our little poem down. And if you are a poetry lover like I am, it says, "A violet by a mossy stone, half hidden from the eye, fair as a star when only one is shining in the sky." I went to Wordsworth's house. when I lived in the UK. And we could put a little butterfly there. Let's see what I got in my little roll, my butterfly roll here. I seem to be taking off all the butterflies. There, look, doesn't that just make that perfect? Okay, so then there's a little card that we can use for journaling, to capture some moments. You could put a picture in your little card. And then the other thing that I did one day when I was just puttering around is I made some wax seals. So I got a little wax seal kit, which I love. And I was looking through my little box, because if I do a wax seal for something, then I generally do more than once. Is if I got my burner out, I might as well. So when I was looking through my little box, I found this little copper one, and it had flower petals on it. So I thought that would be relevant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that little tip off. And I've put score tape, but I only put score tape on half of it. So then I can use that to tuck my envelope underneath. Okay, so there's our envelope that we can put in our thing. But then I want it to kind of collage the back of this. So I cut out some more little flowers. I cut out some jasmine, which I love jasmine. And then I just cut out this woad. And I don't think I intentionally cut the woad. It was on the other panel, so I thought that I would get that down. So I then, with some of the offcuts, there were words and things describing it. So I thought, well, let's get some of that down then. So I got some here for the violet, and I have some for jasmine, and then the woad. Woad is me. I guess that's how you say it. I'm not exactly sure. So let's get this down. So this is the jasmine. Let's put that at the top. So then I thought, yeah, we'll just collage the background, which it would be kind of interesting. And then I've got the violet. Maybe we'll put that at the bottom, and then the woad kind of there. And we're going to cover it up with some of our florals, so that's fine. But it'd just be kind of cool to have some of that. I'm just really big on books. So I could have a whole journal with just book pages. Book pages, dictionary pages, bits from magazine pages. Okay. So then here's my jasmine. So I can put that there. And then, because my envelope's going to cover up some of this too. So but I'm going to use washi tape, I think, to make my envelope kind of flip open. So I'm kind of liking that placement like that. So I think I'll get that down. I was out deadheading when I went out to get some flowers, I noticed that I did deadhead yesterday, but it just seemed there was a lot more. And that's one of the keys to having your things like petunias and stuff last all summer, is just making sure you're getting out there and doing the deadheading and stuff. We are having another heat warning today. And it was fine all morning. It's now almost noon. And this will come out, I think, tomorrow. Trying to get a couple ahead because we're going to be on vacation, so I want to get them ahead and scheduled. I'm on a mission with this challenge. I mean, I know I don't have to do every day. And when I initially started, I was thinking, oh gosh, you guys may, not want a video every day. But, you don't, if you don't have the time or whatever, then you don't have to watch it every day. And I didn't realize, though, in starting this, I think I should have maybe not prepared everything, but did more prep work than what I did. I think the hardest part for me is not necessarily interpreting the prompt, although sometimes that is a challenge, but it's figuring out what kind of project to do. So then I was going to straighten up where I'd cut all these the labels out because they're a bit wonky, but I'm not gonna, because it's a junk journal. And I think the Victorians, which is when I think about junk journals, I just think about the Victorians a lot. I don't know why. But if you look back at some of their scrapbooks and stuff, I just think that they weren't worried about things being wonky. And okay, so then there's our background. And now that I've started talking, guess who's making his way in here? I heard him jump off his little perch, which he was sound asleep a few minutes ago when I went out to check on him. But when he jumps off his perch, you can hear a great big thump thump. So with my affirmation, I just want to take a deep breath because I really need to breathe this in. Now I'll breathe it in more on the day, but let out the tension. I have the energy and passion to make my thoughts reality. I have the energy and passion to make my thoughts reality. Because sometimes I'm tired, and I think that by saying an affirmation, I have the energy. Maybe I'm convincing myself, oops, that didn't stick. That I do have the energy, and sometimes I feel like I don't. Okay, so I'm not really sure how this is going to go down on here because I didn't really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's put this towards the top. And I might have to use my Fabri-Tac. Sometimes glue doesn't like to stick to plastic. And that's kind of what, sorry, my phone's ringing there. And that's what washi tape really is. It's a plastic tape, right? So, and I did distress a little bit around the edges of my words. I was thinking if I glued them down ahead of time that they'd be all glued down, but apparently it didn't work that way. I have the energy, oops, and passion. So yeah, so now it's starting to get a bit humid. Though when I say that, I also am very grateful that I don't live further south where some of you guys live and have those mind-blowing, hot, humid temperatures. I'm a moderate gal. I just like it when it's 20 degrees out. I could live at that. Unless I'm going to the beach. I don't mind it a bit warmer, more warmer temperatures if I'm going to the beach. But then when you get to the beach, it's always cooler because you're at the beach. So, okay, so then that's my affirmation for today. And then what I want to do is make this a flip so that we can open it to the outside and get our card out, and then we can tuck our flap in underneath our wax seal, and then wherever my roll of washi is, then I'll put the washi down. This is one of my new washi tapes. I love it. Okay, so where am I going to put that? Let's put that a little up that way. Sure, it's relatively straight. It's hard to get straight in here because the folds where the pages meet aren't exactly straight. All right. And then that'll flip. I could, if I find that starting to lift, I'll just put some glue underneath it and tack that down better. I could put a bit of washi there, but I don't want it to cover over my flowers. So yeah, so there's our page for today. And we took our petals from our flowers. And I was thinking, does a petunia have petals? But they're fused. I actually looked it up because I was thinking, well, is the actual flower a petal? But the petunias have fused petals. So I thought that would fit. So we did our eco prints on the jelly pad. And then we used petals to make a little note card and the petals to do a little wax seal. And then we did a little bit of collaging. So I think we met the challenge for today. And until we meet again, I hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.